What you will need is two picture frames that are the same size with everything removed, foam tape, duct tape, hardware cloth, aluminum window screen, a staple gun, and for cutting you need wire cutters and scissors. Now it is time to create the decal. You want to cut the screen with scissors. Make sure it's a little bigger than the picture frame. Now cut the hardware cloth about the same size as the window screen. This is how it should look when you are done cutting the window screen and the hardware cloth. Now it's time to staple the hardware cloth and the window screen. Make sure that your window screen is on top. Now trim the sides on all four sides. Try to make it even with the frame. Now it's time to duct tape all four sides. You do not want to duct tape any further than the interior side of the frame. After duct taping all four sides, the decal is now complete. Now it is time to start on the mold. Using the other frame and the foam tape, one side of the foam tape is adhesive. Apply it to all four sides. This will create a tight seal. This is how it will look when you are finished with the mold. This tutorial is for 8x10 or under. Anything bigger will cause problems. You will want to shred some paper or rip some paper by hand. Depending on how much paper you are making, you may need a lot. You need to soak the shredded paper in water. Depending on the paper, it can be 10 minutes to overnight. I only soaked mine for 2 hours. You will need to mash up or blend your paper into a pulp. Now it is time to put the decal and mold into a tub of water. After it is in the water, carefully pour your pulp into the mold. You will want to move it around and try even out the pulp. Pull it out of the water and let the excess water drain off of it. Place your decal and mold on a towel. Pull the mold off carefully. I am patting it dry. You need to lay down at least 2 paper towels before you flip it over. You want to flip it quickly and carefully. Now it is time to pull the decal off carefully so the wet paper doesn't move or rip. Now pat it dry with paper towels. This can also help to flatten it. After you pat it as dry as you can by hand, you can dry it by letting it air dry by using a blow dryer, a heat gun, the oven, or even the iron. I use the oven, the iron, and air drying it. If you are using the oven, bake it at 200 degrees with the door slightly open for 10 minutes. Then flip it and repeat this step as needed to dry. If you are using the iron, you want to set it to the lowest setting possible. You also want to dry it by going in small circles. This is the finished product from the oven. After it is dry, iron it flat. You do not want it on high heat. You also don't want to leave it sitting on the paper for too long, otherwise it could burn your paper and potentially cause a fire. Ironing this paper can take a long time. Mine took a few hours and I took a few breaks in between. Air drying it took a few days to dry. Here's some of my finished products. I am keeping them in a book to help them stay flat. You can see where it wasn't completely level and the light is now shining through the paper. I highly recommend you place your finished products into a heavy book to help keep your papers flat. You're going to want to use a box or some heavy object on top of your book to help flatten or to keep them flat.